As a chef, I'm always asked, what are the best cookbooks? Right now, what is the books that I'm constantly opening up and taking a look at? Today's that day. Today, we're going to be discussing it. My name is Jonathan Boyd. I've been an executive chef for over 15 years and a professional chef in the industry for over 20. So today I'm going to give you my best opinions on what is the best cookbooks to be into, and if you've not had a chance yet, make sure you hit the like and subscribe. I have a special guest coming to help me with a few, and I know it's going to be an absolute great time because this person is an absolute expert on cookbooks. So, first things first, let's talk about what makes a great cookbook to begin with. I think first off, you got two types of cookbooks. I think there's cookbooks that give you technical detail. They're all about the skill, the technique of achieving a dish. And this is super important. I think that's more important really than any of the other flashy books. In my opinion, I think what makes a great chef is that it's about being super technical and doing proper techniques. That's a very important part of being a chef. The other part is being inspirational, meaning that you go to that book, you find inspiration, you're able to really think beyond the book, if you will, and find something that excites you. And today we're taking a look at the cookbooks that we are opening monthly, daily, weekly. And again, all of these, for the most part, you can find on Amazon. So make sure that you click on the links down below if you are interested in finding any of these books. I won't leave you hanging. So first off, books that bring technical experience. I think there's some great things that you should have. If you're a foodie, or if you're a wannabe chef, maybe you're going to culinary school, obviously the first thing that you need is a great cookbook that gives you technical skill. I'll admit I am slightly biased on cookbooks. I went to the Art Institute of Atlanta, and our textbooks there were the On Cooking series. Now, each brand of culinary school kind of has their own textbooks and things that they use. A lot of them, though, are really similar. I just think you should go out there and get one of these amazing textbooks. The ones that I use are On Cooking. You can see I've had this book for a hot minute. This is the actual On Cooking book. It's pretty beat up, as you can see. I've got stains all in it and stuff where I've done. The On Cooking or the On Baking class, that one is absolutely ripped to shreds. This has got notes in it. It's pretty beat up. What I always laugh about is I've long since lost it, but you know how old I am when there's a CD-ROM thing in the very back of it? Makes me feel absolutely fantastic. Makes me feel young to look in and see ancient technology that my kids have never seen in the back of your cookbook. But these are here, though, to give you lots of technical experience. And again, it's going to give you the techniques that you need. So many things are getting really popular on TikTok and Instagram, Facebook, wherever your social media preference, maybe here YouTube, but they're not learning the technical things that make it happen. So yes, maybe you're going out and you decide that you're a trad wife sourdough girl now. But yes, you might be able to make a sourdough, but if you don't learn how to feed the sourdough properly, use the sourdough properly, what's the point, right? You're just going to give up in like 4 days. Let's be completely honest. You're going to get bored of it. You're going to absolutely hate it. And what this does is it gives you the foundation. So you're not going around in circles constantly. This gives everything from basic cookies all the way up to how to make saucier torts, extravagant cakes, ice cream base. This is going to teach you the mother sauces, everything you know, how to properly sear. This is all about technique. And again, it's going to teach you everything from the very basic equipment and what the basic equipment is, how to make a basic dough, how to cut vegetables properly. When somebody says julienne onions, what does that mean? And how does that go into the context? And why would we julienne versus a brunoise dice on onions? This is going to tell you why we do that. So again, it's going to give everything from basic searing. It's going to have a little bit of basic baking and pastry there in the very back. I kind of marked something right there. What did I mark? I marked buttercream, simple chocolate buttercream. So again, very important. Again, I have these marked up. I have these absolutely marked up with things that I go back and I reference constantly. No chef is above going in and looking at a cookbook and finding a proper recipe that works. Next in this category is a book called Robuchon. Now, Robuchon is an absolute amazing cookbook. It is very specifically geared towards French cuisine. Now, as you'll see, it is not the most, it's not the most picture grabbing book, even compared to these two textbooks. But what I like about them, though, is that it goes absolutely in depth in the descriptions. The recipes are actually accurate, which again doesn't always happen in a lot of the cookbooks that are out there. Everybody's opened up a recipe on Pinterest or something of that nature, and it's absolute doo-doo. This book will not let you down. Into the inspirational category, I have two books that I am constantly going to. So first one is, we'll go old school. This is the Escoffier cookbook. This is one of the oldest, now this isn't an original, but this is one of the oldest cookbooks in modern cuisine. And so again, made by Auguste Escoffier. It has his recipes in here. What I like about them though, is that there's no actual, it's not 5 ounces of this, 4 ounces of that. It just tells you all of the ingredients and the basics of how to put it together, but it doesn't tell you the amounts. So there's a lot of wiggle room, which as a chef, I absolutely love. So it's just going to tell you crawfish puree, redfish, and spinach. It's not going to tell you 3 ounces of spinach blanched with this, with that. It's going to just tell you the ingredients that go into it and the basics of how to put it together. And as you as a chef, you got to go in and be able to kind of connect the dots, which for me is a lot of fun. And I find that very inspirational. It's good to kind of go in there and look at ideas and different stuff. Obviously, there is a lot of French cuisine in there, French names. So you kind of you probably need to have just a little bit of background to understand what that is and what's going on there. Next, Marcus Samuelson's The Rise, which is Black Cooks and the Soul of American Food. This book has actually, I originally wasn't going to get it. And then I saw it on the shelf and I was like, no, I mean, it's a cool book. It's got lots of colors. It's really exciting. Obviously, Deep South food. That's my love. That's what I'm all about. I originally passed on it. And then somebody read my mind. And then I got this as a Christmas gift. And I got to be honest, I freaking love this book, man. It's just got all kinds of just amazing Deep South flavors and ideas from canning and breads, how to make a good chicken liver mousse, all the way up. And again, you got all these amazing chefs from across the Deep South. For me, obviously, this is the celebration of African American chefs. There's obviously lots and lots of amazing chefs across the South. This is a great celebration, though, of those African American culture and influences on Southern food. So again, if you're really into soul food and the Deep South, this is a great book to get into. You're going to find inspiration. You're going to really be into it. My favorite is there's like this crispy charred okra salad with like peaches and white balsamic vinaigrette. Absolutely love that dish. Not going to lie, I've done that on a chef's table before and absolutely crushed it. Again, great book. They nailed it. For this next section, I have a special guest coming to help because I honestly have a lot of help in this kitchen. I am not one who's going to sit here and tell you that I am the end all be all on this kitchen in every single task. I have an amazing life partner there that helps me out. If you see all these amazing canned items behind me, I mean, look at all this stuff, right? We've got zucchini pickles. We've got, squash relish. Look how beautiful that is. Woo. That was not a dance move. My pants were caught on the drawer. We have squash relish. And to do all that, I have an amazing human being who helps me here in this kitchen, and that is my wife, Mary Eve. So I've invited her to come and talk to me about her stuff, because I really do. I think when we talk about the most important things that chefs really need to know and to have influence in their kitchens, I think canning and preserving is one of the most important techniques and skill sets that any chef should have. It's not just about cooking something right then and the now, but how can we preserve it for longer? Because I love tomato sauce year round. I don't want to just have it in the summer. So being able to can it, same thing with pickles and relish and salt mixes and all those different things. So I have help with that. So without further ado, walk us through your favorite cookbooks that help you with canning and preserving.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to do like you. I'm going to start with the basics. Okay, this Better Home and Gardens right here is fantastic. It goes through the different types of equipment. It goes through how to can, and so does the Ball Cookbook. You'll see that I don't use this one for recipes as much as I'd like to, but this really goes through the gel stage test, how to make jelly, what makes a soft spread versus a hard spread. And it goes through all of those technical details like you were talking about, about the technical stuff in canning. This is really good. I love a lot of the recipes in this one. I use a lot of them. I don't know, is that one in there? It's probably in here. See, I mean, I make my own stuff. Yeah, look, boom. That's why the paper was there. Hot and spicy zucchini pickles. That's where this one came from. So I like these books. They've got great recipes. Like you said, the proportion to ingredients is accurate also. So these are definitely
must-haves.
Must-haves in the kitchen. Low-key, these are old. They're Farm and Journal. All right, this one is like from the 70s. I don't know when this one is from. I'm going to guess about that same era. 1970 also, 1970. So they're both from the 70s. So there's not many pictures. This one has 0. This one has a few. And they're old. But these are great. They are just time, true, tested. You know, great granny used these recipes. She used these books. This is where we got them from. And they are just the best. Sometimes the ingredients aren't listed, like the exact amounts, like you were saying. Kind of like a Scoffier's book, you kind of got to play with it a little bit. But once you've read the first two, you're okay to move on and say, oh, I know the basics, I know the science, I know how, why, when, where, what I'm supposed to be doing, and you can use these types of books.
I think what's great about those is like today we've lost kind of that knowing it by experience.
Right.
And so what's great about this is that these books are based upon people who were doing it based upon the experience. And yeah, they knew some of the sciences and things like that, but it's not as technical as it is today as far as getting to certain degrees with this level of pH. They didn't have individual pH meters, I feel like maybe back in the 70s. Maybe I'm misspeaking. But I don't remember my grandmother having a pH meter in her house. But she knew when she was working with certain things what levels they need to be by color, taste, and feel. For sure. And what's great about these books is it really goes back to those basics of doing things by color, texture, and feel.
Right.
It's your next book.
All right, this is my last but not least. This is my favorite one. This is the one that inspires me. It's the Rebel Canning Cookbook.
Okay.
All right, this is super fun. This does have exact recipes, does have exact proportions, but it inspires creativity. Let's say the cowboy candy, for instance.
Yeah.
This is a great recipe. It's candied jalapenos. It's spicy and sweet all at the same time, and it's kind of like a pickle. So you've got that little sour to it, and you can do, I mean, unlimited things with cowboy candy. You can put it on your steak. You can put it on your pork chop. You can put it in a salad. You can
I like it on my cornbread.
You can put it on the cornbread. You can put it on a cheese board.
Yeah.
You could put it in a sandwich.
Yeah.
If you want that little hot, spicy vinegar stuff. So the fun thing about this is that I was reading and I was like, how can I make this even better? How can I differentiate? We've got jalapenos coming out of our ears. So I added liquid smoke to a batch. I don't know. We're about to find out whether or not it's good. But by knowing the basics, you know, and by learning to experiment, I can take recipes that I love and things that maybe we're not supposed to do.
Yeah.
in the kitchen and in canning, and we can try and learn and fail and succeed all at the same time, and it's super fun.
Yeah, there's everything from like canned chocolate cake,
Yeah.
which was one that we've tried. There's been
Yeah.
lots of different dishes that, again, kind of go against traditional canning rules, but work if you know the techniques and if you follow that book. So,
Yeah.
good job. See, that's why she's the wife. That's why she's the bee's knees. She absolutely crushes it. I do have one last set of books. These are ones that cross that bridge between inspiration and information. And so, first one on that list is the Ethical Meat Handbook. And we do a lot of butchering here. We do a lot of growing animals out for our production here on our homestead. And so the first time I did it, it was an absolute disaster breaking down a lamb. We did all that work. We grew that lamb out for an entire year, and then I ruined the loin by cutting in through it and not able to understand meat butchery as far as like a whole carcass goes. And this book really helps bridge that gap. And what it does is it literally shows you everything. So there's our pig, and it shows you where all the different sections are and what to do, when and where. And it's just a great book that really breaks down things on a very, very skilled level. It teaches you everything, though, from a couple of bits of charcuterie, because that's what I'm into right now. And really cool stuff to really be looking at and understanding. There's just nothing worse than spending all of your money on a giant loin. Maybe you went to Sam's Club, you went to Costco, and you bought a whole ribeye loin or New York strip. But if you don't break it down properly, you're potentially losing lots of money. So a book like this is going to help you out, save you money, and be able to teach you a few neck techniques along the way. My last book, and these are my favorite book. I kind of got them together a little bit because they're the same author. These two books are from John Foles. So we have one right here, which is the Encyclopedia of Cajun and Creole Cuisine, and then we have Can You Dig It? Again, both by John Foles. I'll go with this one first. It's really about the history of the South as a whole and where all these different influences hit. A lot of people talk about New York and, you know, all the influences and immigrant influences there, but that really is in the South. I feel like the South is a much better melting pot. I think through, respectfully, I guess I could say this as someone from the South, historic poverty across the South through the different ethnics that's been here. You know, everyone has kind of come through the South and struggled more or less, some more than others, obviously. But all of that has led to a very specific cuisine. And without all of those things in history happening, without the French prisoners that were dropped off in Louisiana, mixed with the Native Americans who brought us sassafras or gumbo filet, as we call it. Then we have the Spanish who brought over the tomatoes that bring in that Creole flavor. Then you've got African influence that have the okra, where literally the word gumbo comes from. Okra in I forget the African language is literally called ungumbo. And again, all of that has to happen in this weird soup pot of messed up history. And this book really talks about that and gives you a great breakdown of everything that it took to make Cajun and Creole cuisine. It really is, in my opinion, the greatest melting pot cuisine in the world. I think it's so fascinating, and that's why there's so many fusion knockoffs that come off of Cajun and Creole, and that's why it is, because there's so many national influences that happen. So again, it talks about everything from, you know, the European, African, Native American, and then it starts breaking down by seafood, vegetables, soups, gives you history of the different regions of those flavor profiles. So again, absolutely amazing book. If you're really into deep South flavors, this right here is definitely your book. Do not miss out. Last one, again, is Can You Dig It? This is, again, by John Foles. So I included them together. But this goes in and breaks things down by, you know, state and area. And then it also kind of breaks it down by like specific vegetables. And again, there's lots of pictures and stuff to give you inspiration, but it breaks it down like sweet potatoes. And we're here in Mississippi, so Vardaman is the home of sweet potatoes as far as I'm concerned. The best sweet potatoes in the country come from Mississippi. I'm willing to fight on it. And again, it's going to give you all the history and how all those things got here. I think that's a really cool way to take on a cookbook. So if you've not had a chance yet, again, make sure that you check in that description down below. Now, if you are like Jonathan, this is fantastic. I'm excited. I've ordered my book. I want to know, what exactly are you cooking in this amazing kitchen behind? Don't worry. As you can see behind me, we've been cooking today. We made a beautiful, it's all half eaten up, but we made a beautiful risotto to go with our live cooking today. So if you missed that, make sure you hit this link over here. We had amazing chefs from Hell's Kitchen, season 24, come and hang out with us. They're going to be cooking over the next couple weeks as well. So make sure you hang out with us every single Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. You can find us right here cooking live. Next week, Jaden Kennedy from Hell's Kitchen season 24 is going to be making his rendition of shrimp and grits. It's a pimento cheese shrimp and grit with Cajun shrimp and a blueberry gastrique. I'm really looking forward to that. With fried shallots. The week after that, in 2 weeks, we're going to be having Chef Bradley from season 24 Hell's Kitchen, coming all the way from California, though he's representing the state of Louisiana just next door. He's going to be here cooking up an amazing dish with us as well. So if that doesn't interest you, we also have over here, man, we got some amazing smoked meats coming off the smoker. So make sure you check out these two. It's a choose your own adventure. We've got you set up. So don't miss out. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time here on Deep South Foodies.